Do you have a Tim in your organization, on your teams, in your classroom? I'm John Nepper, the Trusted Connection Maximizer. We're going to talk about Tim. He was a seventh grader in my band, and he was a percussionist. Now, Tim definitely marched to the beat of a different drum. One day I looked back, and Tim had taken a tambourine, and he was putting it like over his head. I thought, oh, what are you doing? I looked away, and the next moment I looked back, it had slipped down over his neck, and he couldn't get it off. He really couldn't get it off. I thought, I'm just going to let you do it. Another time, I told the students often, I told them about the uniform for our concerts was a white turtleneck, black pants, black socks, black shoes. White turtleneck, black pants, black socks, black shoes. And I told them that over and over, and I sent it to their parents on pieces of paper, if you can imagine that, and through emails and all those things. And the night of the concert, the kids showed up and they looked great. White turtleneck, black pants, black socks, black shoes. Here comes Tim. Black pants, black socks, black shoes, had it nailed. It was great. Red turtleneck, bright red turtleneck. He stuck out like a sore thumb, and he looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, one day he came into class and his energy was off the charts. It was just so high and so out of control. I redirected him several times, tried to get him to refocus on the music that we were doing. Nothing was working. He was taking his drumsticks and was beating on every drum except the one he was supposed to be playing, the bass drum, the chimes, the xylophone. None of those were his instrument. He started banging on the back of the cornet player's chair. And then when he hit the trombone player over the head with his sticks, I said, Tim, that's it, my office. When I got there, I closed the door harder than I wanted to. I looked at Tim. I said, what's going on? Nothing. No. Don't tell me nothing. I know something's up. What's going on? Nothing, okay? Nothing. I took a breath. I asked him again. Tim, it's okay. I'm listening. What's going on? He stared at his shoes a long time. My mom left. I'm sorry, Tim, what did you say? My mom left, okay? My mom left. She's gone, okay? Packed a suitcase, wrote a note, and she's gone. Let's stop the story there for just a minute. In the story formula, when you're trying to have conversations with people to learn their stories, there are a couple of rules, the ultimate rules that you need to follow. The first ultimate rule is be willing to set aside your personal agenda. You know, oftentimes we think we have to tell the other person what's going on with us. We have to share our story. We have to share our story. We have this story that has nothing to do with what they're doing. We are inviting them into our listening, which I take that to mean I'm here to listen to you. And in these conversations where you're learning other people's stories, the person who's talking, that voice needs to be heard the most. We have trouble doing this. We have to be willing to set our agenda aside. And we have to remember the mantra. The mantra is this. It's not about me. It's not about me. In learning people's stories and using that to support them and help them to better do their jobs, it's not about me. Now think about Tim for a second. Think about how it would have been if I laid into him, because that was my personal agenda. He was taking time away from my class. He was distracting. We couldn't get anything done. I wanted to blame him. I wanted to make him feel bad for it. Now, what kind of person would I have been just having found out that his mother left his family? She was gone. What kind of person would I have been? And I think back to a couple of things. I think back to the tambourine. I think back to the red shirt. I think back to other instances in my classroom where Tim was kind of off the charts. Could those have been red flags or warning signs that I should have paid attention to? I'll ask you that question again in a minute. Ultimate rule number 2 is be willing to follow where the other person needs the conversation to go. Like if they need to go this way and you think, no, it'd be better if we go this way, really. You ever drive with somebody like that? Going to exit here, going to take the exit, your turn's coming up, and you're just like, I'm driving, I need to go where this car and I know where to go. The exit. We need to let people take the conversation where they need to. Tim didn't need me to take him in another direction. He needed me to allow him to take the conversation where it needed to go so he could tell me his story. And the third one, this is really important, really important. Don't fix. Don't fix. Don't fix. Now, the reason I'm repeating that so much is because it's worth repeating. This is so important. I'm a recovering fixer. I always wanted to fix people. I thought I had the answer to their problems, that if you just did it my way, the problem would be fixed. We think we know. The truth is we don't. So in the ultimate rules, we give people the greatest gift we can, and that is the gift of silence. Did you know that silent and listen have the same letters? Fascinating, isn't it? Now think about those warning flags. Perhaps they should have been warning flags. Because the truth is that after Tim talked in my office with me, I never had another problem with him for the rest of the entire year. Warning flag, putting the tambourine over his head, or just being a 7th grader. Warning flag, showing up in a red turtleneck, or just being a 7th grader. But maybe if I had paid attention and learned Tim's story sooner, maybe I would have had an easier time with Tim in my class. And he would have known that my place, my band room, my classroom was a place where he could come to be safe. The ultimate rules help us learn people's stories so we can support them, so they can feel heard and seen and valued for who they are as human beings. Thank you. I'm John Knepper.